AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
And that's the part that's kind of frustrating me when I'm shooting at Leon Rose for this. If you chose Brunson to be your number one, you can say that, but you didn't do that. And we saw it on the court with the Pacers exposed it. Yo, if Brunson is your number one, he got to go 40 minutes and try to figure out this maze. We're going to be physical with him. You're going to have to cross everybody over because you don't have the screeners to make your job easier. You don't have Randall out there to drive and kick. You're not going to give the ball to Cat to operate your offense. We didn't do that. We didn't go from what Nick Nurse did with Embiid, put him at the top of the key and let Cat go to the top of the key, set some screens for him, put him in different sides of the court so he can make passes that are easier. We don't have a ball handler to get the pressure off of Brunson aside from Bridges, who we finally used last game to bring the ball up. Aside from that, we really had Josh Hart as a de facto, point guard.
I hear a lot about how much credit the front office should get, right? But we also have to blame them. We had Grimes and Obi Toppin on the bench, and we got rid of them. Imagine Grimes and Obi on the bench. Even if we didn't have Deuce or Precious or just imagine how different things would be if we had Grimes and Obi coming off the bench. So the credit that everybody want to just go crazy. What about that? How do y'all feel building around Brunson? What's y'all thoughts on that?
Well, I think before you jumped on, Flea, I was saying that the trade for Cat, the number one issue through 82 games and now with the playoffs is we usually see this when people, I know Cat saying this is Brunson's team, but like I always say, what you say and what you think is way different than how you play. And on the court, we don't know who the number one is. That's what it feels like. Who did you really build this team around? Because you got Cat, but how did you complement either one of them to support which one is the number one guy? And this is where we falter and why they can't be on the court at the same time because, yeah, they lack defensively, but you're supposed to make the offense, if that's the case, a super version of whatever it's supposed to be. And we never established that. To build around Brunson like he's Allen Iverson, that was the plan. That, to me, was what happened last year. And it was just hard. It was Flea called it lightning in a bottle, and that made the most sense because that was so much talent on one roster. It's insane. It's really insane. Quentin Grimes is looking like a starting two guard right now, and we love the way he locked up Jimmy Butler on one leg. That was crazy. And then he turns out, remember, he was changing his jump shot in the summertime with JJ Redick. It still wasn't clicking. He's the kind of guy that probably needs the ball in his hands more, but that's the guy that was coming off the bench, and they replaced him with Dante DiVincenzo. Obviously, going back to AllBall's point, this thing is Brunson. Brunson is leading the way, and that's Dante was his guy. So him starting is kind of not surprising, and with 2020 hindsight. But should we build around it like it's Allen Iverson? Yeah, we have to make a choice. Are you going to get more screen setters to get Brunson an easier?
But that also means moving Brunson to the 2.
But that's what he is.
No. I know that's no. I know that's what he is. But I'm saying literally, when they bring up the starting 5, his shit say shooting guard, and like Flea say, we get a Eric Snow, a tough defender that can bring the ball up, a la Lonzo Ball. I'm just asking. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I just want to hear y'all opinion on that.
But I don't think in this era we do that. I don't even know a point guard. They don't even call Steph Curry a two guard, and to me, he plays the 2. He's off ball. Draymond is really like running the offense a lot throughout the whole championship tenure, and they still call him a point guard. So I don't care what you call him. I don't care what they call these people anymore. Just do what you're saying. Make the moves. Make the coaching adjustments to have the plays run so that he's going off ball and doing the Allen Iverson cuts. More horns plays sets, ran for Brunson, off ball. That is the way to go with a Brunson. So the Becky Hammers in the world, all these other guys that were waiting on us to lose to say, you can't win with him, see? Meanwhile, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. We were one step away. Allen Iverson was not getting better every year. he kind of like became AI and he was just chucking. Brunson, he was getting better every season. He built up to being a franchise guy. AI came in as a #1 pick. He was expected to be that dude. Brunson was not expected to be that. But now that he is, you got to make a decision. To your point, yo, get more players to make him an offensive weapon and a decoy for more plays, because that's what #1 guys do. And I think that's the biggest reason why we failed this year. Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau never established that.
I mean, somebody got to tell Brunson that the team is not as the team it was 2 seasons ago, and it's not the team it was last season. So I feel if you're gonna build it like how they built that team with Allen Iverson, I mean, they didn't win either, but I building it like that and putting the complete offensive burden on Brunson today, for me, doesn't really make sense. So I wouldn't want to do that. I know that he established himself as the guy that we go to that's going to carry the offense, but I think for us to continue to get better, he got to realize that he doesn't have to be 30 a night. That we can actually build out the team around him, but build out the team around him that are complementary pieces that can elevate their roles. Like, you know, you talking about the Philly team. I'll talk about the Golden State team for years. And like, Steph is the guy. We know that. But in moments, Klay Thompson elevated his role. And it's like, okay, we need that Klay Thompson to be who he is so that we can close out this type of game or these type of game. You know, situational things, right? We know who Klay was in his prime. But all I'm saying is that we don't need to be afraid to put other alpha level guys around Brunson and have him figure it out. I don't think we need to cater to Brunson, this is your team, and we're going to get a bunch of ancillary pieces around you, and you just running around, we figure it out. We can't be afraid to have some guys in there to challenge him being the guy. If you ain't got it tonight, Cat needs to be the nigga. It's me tonight. It's me, and that's what Fabian is always saying about Cat. He needs to be. If he's who AllBall says he is, right? That was always your point. If he is who he says he is, you need to be like, yo, get me the rock. Tonight is the night. Tonight's my night. I got Miles Turner. I averaged 30 on him. Bring it this way. We know you could finish the game. Bring it this way.
Well, after these playoffs, that's what AllBall used to say about Cat.
But just right. But just real quick, watching now, y'all both broke that down great, right? But that is a problem, and we need to figure out. If you asking me who would I rather build around at this point, it would be Jalen Brunson. I watched OKC build around SGA. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's his team. Fabian keeps saying it, and now that's something to really think about. Okay, who are we building around? Is it Cat or is it Brunson? My opinion, that team that Dallas built around Luka, that's the team Brunson needs. Where you got, think about this. Cat is not even catching alley-oops, bro. Like, we have nobody on our team that's athletic. The way the game is built today, this is why we lost. Indiana running gun, we have none of that. I just feel that you get some defenders, you get some 3-and-D guys, and you get some lively Gafford type guys. I'll take 2-3 of those over Cat right now for this team, because I don't want to build around Cat. I'd rather build around Brunson. And I do think Brunson can average 30. And I do think a team like that will be more successful than what we are now. Like I said, unless Cat is gonna, I don't need him to be great defensively, Flea, but don't commit dumb fouls. Be able to close out. Because once again, we watch Indiana have good seasons, Miles Turner, this and that. They get Halliburton. Oh no, they built that team around Halliburton. Right now, we don't know if the team is built around Cat or Brunson.
The 3 names you just named right now, and I know it's completely obvious, but I think it matters. SGA is a 6'6" guard. Luka Doncic is a 6'7" guard.
Yes.
Tyrese Halliburton is a 6'4", 6'5" guard. Like, these guys, you know, are point guards and at the guard position, but they are bigger guards. Jalen Brunson is phenomenal on the offensive end, but we are talking about a smaller guard. And we don't want to run. We hate Becky Hammond's statement.
No, hold on, Fleet. Hold on. Y'all said something earlier. Those three names you just said. Okay, I understand the height. But what y'all said through this whole live, they have players around him that can defend and that can handle the ball. Brunson doesn't have that. OG can't handle the ball. Mikal Bridges can't handle the ball. Hart can't handle the ball. Cat can't hit. So I understand the height part, but those guys have multiple guys around them, at least 6, 7, 8, that can actually handle the ball. So I get what you're saying. You're correct on the height part. But once again, the way teams are constructed today to win championships, we constructed like the 90s, while everybody else is constructed like 2025. We have to figure it out. This is the problem that the front office and the coaching staff is not up to KNICKS Rehab, because we ain't getting paid to figure out. We ain't getting the millions of dollars to sit in the boardrooms and sit in the video rooms and figure this shit out. Flea, they got to figure this shit out, bro. But it's now going to be sketchy because, once again, the NBA, as far as talent, is getting better and better every year. Now, when teams are healthy and we're healthy, what is it going to be? I'm just saying, Fabian made a great point. Who team is it and who are we building around? Because you can't build around two guys at the same time. How does that work?
Well, Brunson is the younger player, obviously. Brunson is the guy that you can go to go get a bucket. Cat is great. Cat was great. I think if you look at the overall season, Cat was good for us, right? We in the biggest moments we expect him to be better, and I think that always overshadows what he was, throughout the season. I thought he was, good for us, really, really good for us. That is why I brought up Lonzo Ball, because that does put Brunson in a position to have a little back, and especially in terms of handling the basketball. We need some Lonzo Ball. Like, Josh Giddey is getting Lonzo Ball out of there, matter of fact. Another name, I'm just talking about a bigger guard that can handle it, pass it, shoot it, create for others. Just, and it might not be those names per se, right? It might not be that. Drew Holiday. Like, it might not be that. But these are the names that are bigger guards that we could take it out of his hands and see Brunson in some action, some actual action without the ball in his hand. I never see that.
Hold on, fellas, real quick, Fabian, please respond. Now, I'm glad that y'all brought this topic up, right? Look at all the great teams in these last couple of years. Look at the Boston Celtics. Everybody can bring the ball up besides Porzingis and Horford. They got 5, 6 guys. Every team has 5, 6. Some have 7 guys that can handle the ball and can run the offense. We have one guy. One. Denver's fucking center can run the point guard. Let alone Aaron Gordon. Murray can bring up the ball. We have one guy. So I'm going to be honest. I'm okay with trying something. You see it doesn't work. Okay, we have to move on. I'm going to be honest, fellas. We're going to have to get maybe 3, 4 ball handlers. And that may mean shaking up the roster. Y'all might not like that. But we cannot go into another season where we have 1 ball handler and 2 defenders on a 12-man roster. That is not going to work.
But that's the part to me that's not shaking up the roster. Is, again, going back to last season, we had a core with Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, then we brought in Brunson, and Randle was a part of that thing. Mitchell Robinson and these guys, IQ. You really didn't shake up the roster because RJ Barrett is really a role player now, 3rd, 4th option. If you got the core there already, now the new core is Brunson and Cat. The Bridges is a role player. OG is a super defender, but you got to consider him a role player, but he's maybe the 3rd best player on the team. Everybody else we talking about, whether it's Bridges and down, are all role players. That's not shaking up the team. That's complementing the foundation, whether it's Brunson or Cat. So I don't think that you shake up the roster like that. That's adding to what you need. I don't, not that it's not that hard, because look with the salary cap, the second apron business, it's a lot trickier to make these moves today. Before you get off AllBall and read the super chats. JR, thank you for your $4.99. Cat is a better defender than Julius, but he lacks the bully ball mentality. Thank you for your $1.99 as well, JR. We lack height as well. The one thing about this, because I'm always comparing it to last year with Julius Randle, right? At that point last season, Cat was not better than Julius Randle defensively. And that is playing more towards Randle was under Tom Thibodeau for 4 or 5 years already. So I can't just say he's a flat out naturally better defender than Karl-Anthony Towns. It's not that, bro. It don't take that much to figure out what Tibbs is asking for when you the low man in the corner and you rotate, right? For the when they pack the paint. Randle knew his role. Karl-Anthony Towns, again, Flea's always saying this. This is his first season with this team with Thibodeau. So maybe a summertime, watching some tape, going through training camp, seeing what Tibbs might need you to do, you're gonna already expect to hear what he's gonna say. You expect to know what Brunson wants, what OG. You don't want to hear OG talk to you anymore like this. Even though it is a hit piece from the Athletic, and we saw how Cat responded to Charles Barkley, where he's literally saying, "Well, I don't know why I'm moving the way I am," and it's like, all right, well, you have to start answering yourself, answering the question. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.